Hello, my name is Devon Mallon, and I'm interviewing my friend Derek Basil, who remembers events from 9/11. So Derek, can you tell me what year you were born, where you were born, and what state you currently live in?
I was born in 1970. I was born in the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I currently still reside in Ridley Park, PA.
Okay, and we are going to discuss events of 9/11 today. Where were you when you first heard the news, and did you see it happen on TV?
I was actually at the office working. I worked for State Farm Insurance at the time. I did not see it on television live, only the replays. How I heard about it was a coworker had come over to my desk. He said his mother had called him and said that a plane had hit the World Trade Center and if I knew anything about it. At that time, I was able to pull up a picture on the internet that showed a big hole in one of the trade centers where the first plane hit. And my thought at that point was, oh brother, because that's a really big building with a really big hole in it. So this wasn't a small aircraft that hit it. This was a big plane, and this was going to be a really big problem. And that's how I heard about it. And basically, more news came in as the events happened. And, shortly thereafter, within the hour, the second plane hit. And that's basically when all heck broke loose.
Okay, and did you know anyone who was directly affected by this?
I actually met a gentleman who was a pilot for a long time for United Airlines, and Frank Lyons is his name, and he was actually supposed to be the pilot of the United flight that ended up hitting one of the trade centers, but due to scheduling, he had switched with another coworker who ultimately took that flight for him, and as a result lost his life. Frank was deeply troubled by this and bothered by it emotionally, as one would imagine. And he ended up resigning as a pilot from United shortly thereafter and took early retirement.
Have you visited Ground Zero or any memorial grounds, and how did it feel?
I haven't actually been to New York to Ground Zero. I have seen on television and can only imagine what an emotional visit that must be for anybody who was living in this country or anywhere when those events happened. But I was able to get over to the memorial in Yardley, Pennsylvania, numerous times. There were a lot of people from that area who worked up in New York and who lost their lives there. There's actually a couple pieces of the World Trade Center there. A beautiful fountain and memorial with all their names etched in glass and stone. It's pretty moving to realize that those people that were nearby and maybe neighbors of people that you know. It's a very moving memorial there to just sit there and look at the names of people locally who were killed and how many they were. It could have been neighbors or friends of neighbors that you knew, but ultimately over 3,000 people lost their lives that day. And that's just something that I'll never be able to really fully understand. It's just mind-boggling.
And how has the events of 9/11 affected you personally?
Personally, it's basically been through air travel. I just traveled today, actually, and there are restrictions on what kind of items can be brought onto the aircraft. Certain things have to be checked in the baggage, so it goes into the luggage compartment underneath the plane. You have to take off your shoes. You have to empty all your pockets. You go through full body scans. You are not admitted into the terminals without a boarding pass. All of these changes were from 9/11. There was a time that If you were picking someone up at the airport and you wanted to, you could park the car and go wait at the gate for them. Watch the plane pull up and park, and if you were a kid or you had a kid that liked planes, that was kind of cool. But those days are over. It is strictly if you need to be on a plane, that's the only reason you're going down there. Otherwise, you're out front waiting. You can't pull up and wait for people anymore. They have designated parking areas. In this day and age with cell phones, you can park there and they'll call you or text you when the plane's there, and they're out walking through the concourse out to the main arrivals area. A lot of different things with the flights now. They have air marshals on the planes. Cockpits are locked. Just any and everything to try to keep us safe.
All right. Thank you very much for your time.
You are quite welcome.